Well, hello again, all my classic dirt bike YouTubers, and thanks to you all for tuning in once more to Classic Dirt Bike TV. Now, in my next featured video, we're going to check out more vintage off-road racing from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club at their Round 1 event that was held at Finavon in Forfar in 2017. So without any further delay, let's just jump straight into race 1, which is the pre-1975 up to 250cc class. And in this particular race we have a good selection of bikes, 4-stroke bikes and 2-stroke bikes, but as they lead the line it's a good start by number 3, that's Tommy Anderson on the Husqvarna, but your race leader now is number 29, that's Derek McCauley on that Mark 7 at Voltaco Persang. So as the riders all head up Finavon Hill for the very first time in this 2017 Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's Round 1 event. And as you can see, the weather is absolutely superb for a lovely spring day of classic motocross racing. So as we look to pick up our race leader, it's still number 29, Derek McCauley on the Voltaco Persang. Derek, of course, from Arbroath, which is just a few miles from this particular track. Second is number 3, that's Tommy Anderson on that 1975 250 Husqvarna. But your race leader is number 29 here, Derek McCauley, on that very nimble and very light Spanish-made Voltaco 250 Persang. Tommy Anderson is still in second position as these riders head up the very picturesque Finavon Hill. Number 118 there is Kenny Harper, also riding a 250 Voltaco Persang, and just ahead of Kenny is number 1, I think that's David Hillis, riding that beautiful little KTM bike. But here is your race leader, number 29, Derek McCauley on the Voltaco. Still in second position is Tommy Anderson as we look to pick up more of our race riders. Coming towards us again is number 118, Kenny Harper. Nice to see these old Spanish Voltacos taking part in this type of vintage and classic racing. As we pick up some of the other riders in the pack, the rider in the yellow there, that's Sarah Louise Nelson, who's one of the lady riders here at the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club. But here is your race leader, number 29, Derek McCauley on the Voltaco, as he makes his way up the beautiful Finavon Hill for his third time. Remember, only 4 laps for these old classic bikes. Number 36 there, that's Darryl Wiley on that 4-stroke Honda 250. But this superb racetrack here at Finavon Hill in Forfar is old school motocross, of course. No big massive jumps or any berms to help you round corners. This is just pure old style scrambling with natural terrain. Right, here is your race leader again. It's number 29, Derek McCauley, as he heads towards his first win of the day. Number 127 is Gary Britton. Number 3 there is Tommy Anderson, who is your second placed rider. These two riders of Tommy Anderson and Derek McCauley already starting to lap the slower riders on the racetrack. So it's the first win of the day for number 29, Derek McCauley on the Voltaco, and in second position it's Tommy Anderson on the Husqvarna. Okay, next up we have the pre-1968 up to and over 350cc class. This is basically the pre-1968 Unlimited, if you want to put it another way. But as they leave the line, it's another good start by the Bell brothers of Lewis and Liston. And as they come towards us, it looks like the early start is going to be made by number 98. That's Liston Bell. Second is Lewis Bell. Third is Doogie Meek. Number 164 is Stuart Riddle. As the rest of the chasing pack make their way through, number 66 there is Jim McQuillian on the BSA. As I mentioned, an absolutely gorgeous day for classic racing here, sitting on the top of this beautiful Finavon Hill in Forfar. So as the riders come towards us, it's now number 9, Lewis Bell on that big 500cc Jawa single, and Liston Bell, who was sitting in second position on lap 1, seems to have a mechanical problem with his Rickman. I see him parked track side further down the racetrack. So your race leader now is number 9, Lewis Bell. Number 164 is Stuart Riddle on that beautiful twin port CZ machine. As we look at our racers crossing the line to complete lap 2 in this first pre-1968 class race of the day. So it looks like number 98 Liston Bell has now restarted his Rickman. I think it's a Rickman Triumph that Liston's riding, and he's absolutely flying, already beginning to carve his way through the tail enders. I think it won't be too long before Lewis's older brother Liston is catching up to him in this pre-1968 class race, and we could have a good finish to the end of this particular race. So there is your race leader coming towards us, number 9, Lewis Bell, and Liston Bell is already up to second position. So it looks like it could be a nice scrap to the finish line between these two brothers. Now, of course, when these two guys get on their motorcycles, there's absolutely no love lost between these two guys, and each of the two brothers always wants to win races, so it's going to be a good scrap to that finishing line. So there's your race leader, number 9, Lewis Bell leads number 98 at Liston Bell, and there's not much to call as they cross the line to start their last and final lap. But as it stands, it's number 9, Lewis Bell on that big 500 single cylinder Wig Jawa, who is your race leader. Second is his older brother Liston, who I think is riding his Rickman Triumph in this particular race, although I could be wrong in that respect, but it's still advantage to number 9, Lewis Bell, as they head towards the checkered flag in this first pre-1968 class race of the day. So as the two brothers make their way up Finavon Hill and head towards the checkered flag, it's number 9, Lewis Bell, your race leader. On the outside is number 98, Liston Bell, but it's going to be a win for number 9, Lewis Bell, with his older brother Liston in second. As we look at the rest of the riders as they make their way round on their final lap, number 46 is Neil Chalmers, and number 51 there is Ian Ridley, and both of these riders of course riding BSAs. So that brings us around to the pre-1975 over 350cc class. Another good selection of bikes in this particular race with 4 strokes and 2-stroke machines. So we're just waiting on the OK from the clerk of the course to say that everything's good to go. Just waiting on the 15-second board going up, and they leave the line. And it's a good start by George Crichton on that 360 CZ machine. Derek Falls is also in there in second position on the bull tackle, but as they come towards us, it's George Crichton on that 360 CZ. Second looks like it's John Fleming. Third is Derek Falls. Fourth looks like Archie Baird. But as they head towards us to go up Finavon Hill, it's number 15, that's George Crichton. Second, number 1, John Fleming. Third is Derek Falls on the Bull Tackle. Stuart Roden is in there on the CCM. Number 125 is Ian Stainton on the CCM, and number 50 is Leslie Calderwood. And so as our riders begin lap 2, it's still number 15, George Crichton, who is your race leader on the 360 CZ machine. Second is John Fleming, also riding a CZ or a CZ if you're watching this in the States. In third position there is Derek Falls riding the 360 Bull Tackle. Archie Baird is in fourth place, also riding one of those Czechoslovakian CZ bikes. But as they head up Finavon Hill, once again it's still number 15, George Crichton. Second, John Fleming. Third, Derek Falls. Fourth is Archie Baird. Fifth is Stuart Roden on the CCM, and in fifth position there is Mike van der Meer. And so as they begin lap 3, it's still George Crichton on the CZ. Second, still John Fleming. Third is Derek Falls on the 360 Bull Tackle. But it looks like John Fleming is lining up to try and steal that pole position from George Crichton. So as they come towards us, it's number 15, George Crichton. Second, John Fleming. Third, Derek Falls. But I can't think of anything better to be doing than sitting on the top of Finavon Hill on a beautiful spring morning here in Scotland, watching classic racing. So it's still number 15, George Crichton leads John Fleming, number 1, with Derek Falls in third position. Fourth is still Archie Baird. Fifth is number 20, Stuart Roden. Sixth is number 30, that's Mike van der Meer, and number 50 there is Leslie Calderwood on the CCM. And so as the riders in this first pre-1975 class race cross the line to complete yet another lap, it's a new race leader. It's number 1, John Fleming. Second is number 24, that's Derek Falls on the Bull Tackle. George Crichton has fallen back ever so slightly to third position on the CZ, but as they head up Finavon Hill, it's number 1, John Fleming. Second, Derek Falls. Third is George Crichton. But I have to admit, this is one of the more nicer racetracks in the Scottish Classic racing calendar here at Finavon Hill and Forfar. So as the riders head towards the finish line to start their last and final lap, it's still number 1, John Fleming, your race leader, from number 24, Derek Falls on the 360 Bull Tackle. George Crichton is still in there in third position after leading most of the early running in this pre-1975 class race. But as they come towards us, it looks like John Fleming has a problem. So here is your new race leader. It's number 24, Derek Falls on the 360 Bull Tackle. It looks like he's going to take the win in this first pre-1975 class race of the day. So as he heads towards the finish line, it's a win for number 24, Derek Falls, on that very quick and nimble Spanish Bull Tackle. And George Crichton is going to take a well-deserved second position on the CZ. Okay, next up we have the very first race for the pre-1984 class, formerly known of course as the Twin Shock class. These bigger bikes from the 1980s, a good selection of 4-strokes and 2-stroke machines in this particular race. So as they leave the line, it looks like a good start by number 151, that's John Stokes, riding that 1983 480 Honda machine. Andy Mallock is in second position on the Armstrong 500. So as the riders make their way over Finavon Hill, it is indeed at number 151 John Stokes on the 480 Honda who is your race leader. And as they head into the rather soft section of the track at the bottom end. It's John Stokes first, Andy Malik second, Jim Colligan is in third place, Mike van der Meer is fourth, and Jim Grieve is in there in fifth position. And coming towards us, number 334, that's Kevin Smith on that lovely 250 Michael Spider. Now there's a fair old wind blowing here at the top of Finavon Hill, but we can cope with that. The rest of the weather, as you can see, is absolutely fantastic for a spring day here in Scotland. But here is your race leader, number 151. It's John Stokes on the 83 480 Honda machine. And just coming towards us is number 334 once again, Kevin Smith on the 250 Michael Spider. And number 35 on the left hand side is John Porteous on that lovely Husqvarna. Now here is number 43, that's Andy Malik on the 1983 500 Armstrong machine. Jim Colligan there, number 18 on the 490 Michael, and just behind Jim we have Jim Grieve. And the other riders just going past there are number 88, that's Billy Pentland, and Glenn Wilson on that Husqvarna. So here is your race leader, number 151, John Stokes on the 480 Honda. Number 35 just going through is John Porteous. Of course, he is not in second place. Here is your second place rider, number 43, Andy Malik. Jim Grieve is now up to third position. Jim Colligan is in fourth, and Mike van der Meer is in fifth position. 96 is Alistair Brown on the 250 Husqvarna. Number 8 there is Wally Brown. Number 54 on the left hand side is Robert Kennedy Jr. on that 560 CCM bike. So our current race leader, number 151, John Stokes, has already crossed the finish line to take the win in this first pre-1984 class race, as we look at the remainder of the riders finishing their last and final lap. Number 52 there is Bill Porteous on that YZ 250 Yamaha. Okay, next up we're back to the pre-1975 up to 250cc class. Remember, these are just the racing highlights from this round one event here at Finavon Hill Forfar. Although these races are normally about 4 or 5 laps, we will just be picking out 1 or 2 of the racing laps. So as they make their way round on lap 1, it's number 3, Tommy Anderson on the Husqvarna, who is your race leader. Second is Derek McCauley. Third is Ian Robertson on that very quick little Can-Am machine. Number 1 there is David Hillis on that lovely old KTM. So as we look to pick up our race leaders once again, remember it was Derek McCauley, number 29 on the Bultaco, who won the first pre-1975 250 class race of the day. So it looks like another good race developing between Derek McCauley here, number 29, and Tommy Anderson in second place at number 3. Derek, of course, from Arbroath, which is just a few miles from this racetrack here at Finavon. Number 100 there is Ian Robertson. Number 36 is Darryl Wiley on the 4-stroke Honda. And this rider just coming into shot just now, number 57, and that's actually a 4-stroke 250 Honda engine sitting inside a Husqvarna frame, so a very nice combination for an old classic motorcycle. So as we pick up our race leader, it's now Tommy Anderson who leads Derek McCauley, a very good scrap building here in the second pre-1975 250 class race. So as they come towards us, it's now Derek McCauley, your race leader, number 29 on the Bultaco Pursang. Tommy Anderson is still in second position, so it's a nice scrap building up between these two very quick riders. As the rest of the chasing pack make their way through to begin another lap. Number 88 there coming towards us is actually unregistered in the racing programme, so this could be a day entry, this number 88 rider on the CZ. Number 57 once again, that lovely Honda 4-stroke engine in the Husqvarna frame as the riders make their way up Finavon Hill. Just coming towards us here, the lady rider, that's Sarah Louise Nelson, one of the two lady riders that race with the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club. And number 1 there is David Hillis, riding that very nice and quite rare twin shock KTM. So as our race leaders head towards the checkered flag, it's still Derek McCauley, number 29 on the Bultaco Pursan, who leads this man here, number 3 Tommy Anderson, on that 250 Husqvarna. And so as they cross the line, it's going to be win number 2 for Derek McCauley on the Bultaco, with this man here, number 3 Tommy Anderson, taking a well-deserved second position. Okay, next up we are back to the pre-1968 up to and over 350cc class. I do apologise for not being able to cover the start getaway, but nevertheless we are on lap 1 and we're looking at our race leader, number 98, Liston Bell. Second is Lewis Bell. Third is Fergus Moody. Dougie Meek is in there in 4th place, with Brian Aird on the BSA in 5th position. But it's the two brothers of Liston and Lewis Bell who are race leaders in positions 1 and 2. Liston, I think, is riding his Rickman Triumph, I think, in this particular race, while his younger brother Lewis there, number 9, is riding that big single cylinder 500 WIG Jawa. So as the two brothers make their way up Finavon Hill, it looks like another good race developing here in this pre-1968 class. Now we're looking at number 164 there, that's Stuart Riddle riding that beautiful twin port CZ machine. Stuart absolutely loves these old Czechoslovakian CZs. Number 45 there, that's Dougie Meek riding the Rickman BSA machine. So we're just looking to the top side of the track to pick up our race leader, which on the last lap was Liston Bell, number 98. It looks like Liston is still your race leader, with number 9 here, Lewis Bell, still in 2nd position on the 500 WIG Jawa machine. But these two riders already starting to catch up the slower riders in this pre-1968 class. So as they make their way towards us, just coming towards us here, number 6 is Tom Lewis on that Rickman BSA, just shortly to be passed by our race leader, number 98, Liston Bell. But Lewis Bell is still sitting there, keeping a watching brief on his brother, in case he makes a little slip up, but this could be still another good race to the checkered flag between these two battling brothers. So as they make their way towards the finish line to start their last and final lap in this pre-1968 class race, it's still number 98, Liston Bell leads this man here, number 9, Lewis Bell. Two very talented young riders riding these old classic race bikes. So it's still advantage Liston Bell, who is your race leader, from number 9, Lewis. So as we concentrate on our race leaders towards the finish line, it's still number 98, Liston Bell, leads number 9, Lewis, but absolutely nothing between these riders. Any two of these riders could easily take the win in this race, but it looks like Liston has the slight advantage going up Finavon Hill for the very last time. So we're just looking to pick up our race leaders once again as they head towards the checkered flag. It's going to be a win for number 98 at Liston Bell. Second position is going to be this man here, number 9. That's Lewis Bell. And another cracking race from these two battling Scottish brothers. Okay, that brings us to the final race for this part 1 video of the highlights from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club's round 1 event here at Finavon Hill in Forfar. This is a pre-1975 over 350cc class race. And so as the riders leave the line, it's another cracking start by number 15 George Crichton on that 360CZ machine. As they come towards us, it's still number 15 George Crichton in first position. Seconds number 20, that's Stuart Roden on the CCM bike. Third is John Fleming. Fourth is Ian Stainton, also riding a CCM. But as they come to take their first run up Finavon Hill, it's George Crichton who pulls a wheelie as he heads up the hill. Number 24 there is Derek Falls. Number 14 is Brian Hamilton. But as you can see, the weather is just superb here at Finavon Hill in Forfar for this spring round 1 event here at the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club. So it's still number 15 George Crichton on the CZ. Second is John Fleming there. Number 1 also riding a 360 or a 380 CZ machine. Third is Stuart Roden on the CCM. So as they head up Finavon Hill once more, it's number 1 John Fleming there in second position, chasing race leader George Crichton. Third is still Stuart Roden. Fourth is Ian Stainton, and fifth is Les Calderwood. So as they head towards the line to complete another lap, your race leader is still George Crichton. Second is John Fleming. These two riders already beginning to pull away a bit of a gap on the third place man, which was Stuart Roden. But it looks like John Fleming is going to outpower George Crichton up the hill. Number 20 there is Stuart Roden in third position. So as our race leaders come round to complete another lap, it's still John Fleming, your race leader, from second George Crichton. Then third position there is number 20, that's Stuart Roden on that beautiful 4-stroke Alan Clues CCM bike. So as they make their way round on the last and final lap, we're looking at number 20 George. Oh, it looks like George Crichton has taken a really bad fall there on the CZ. George, of course, was leading this race at the early stages, but it looks like George is up and about, so hopefully nothing too serious. We're looking at number 50, that's Leslie Calderwood on that Joe Maxwell 1974 replica at CCM. But of course there will be more racing highlights from this round 1 event here at Finavon and Forfar in future videos, so look out for them coming to my YouTube channel. So as the paramedics take a look at George Crichton, don't forget to return and tune in to more of the racing action in part 2.